Today's video, let's have a quick look about the latest poll that Pundi X conducted. So they did a community poll for listing coins on their platform. So I guess the following are the coins which were participated, like Omisco, Decentraland, Dent, and Engine. These are the four coins which took part in the community poll. Around 14,000 votes were casted, and out of that, Dent has got like 51% on that. So it's a pretty good news. So congrats, Dent, for the highest vote, and Engine Coin was the runner for the voting. So it's pretty good. So, but we don't know how it will impact going forward. But it's a good sign that Dent managed to get into the Pundi X platform. So now Dent coin could be bought in using their expos systems in developing countries particularly. And if you look at further, so the listing process might take a couple of weeks. Yeah. And if we look at the next recent tweet um, around Afterburner, so this is something the Dent community has been expecting for quite a long while. So if you look at the video that is being here, so the Afterburner program allows community users to store lock up their Dent coins and get free minutes. So it's pretty much like hodling Dent, and for hodling Dent you get some incentives. So that's it. So what effect it could have um, on the total circulating supply? That's the key interesting thing to observe here. So basically, once you start seeing more users locking up the coins within the app, then we could see quite a good amount of scarcity happening on the crypto exchanges. So there's a we had Offerwall 2.0 released on around 26th of September, 24th of September. So since then, you can see this particular site gives you a glimpse of the coins circulating within the exchanges. So within past 3 months, you can see 11% of the coins have gone out of the balance. So which means the intensive incentives are being getting ramped up a lot. So which is a good sign. With Offerwall 2.0, the incentives are roughly around 500 on day one and 1000 Dent coins on day two, and 5500 on third day. So it keeps going. So I managed to get like 10,000 Dent tokens in probably like 6-7 days. So which is pretty good. The average user time on the app is going to increase a lot as well. So once we have eSIM coming out in the near future, we are going to see quite a lot of volume coming in, and a lot of people will start modeling Dent within the app. So that will reflect in this scarcity graph here. So right now you can see roughly 37 billion coins are in the exchanges. So this is the activity on all exchanges basically. So this figure will come down slowly. And if you look at the price chart for today, so Dent is staying same around 3 sats, 131 ETH in ETH. So let's have a quick look what it would be like hitting another 1 cent for Dent in the future. So if Dent has to hit 1 cent again, so it need to hit in BTC 120 sats. So if you look here, right now we are at 3 sets. So you might start questioning, well, it's crazy, it's impossible, because you're talking about like hundreds of folds in BTC. It has to go up um, to reach 1 cent back again. But if you look at the fundamentals of how Dent is going forward as a business, they are doing pretty good at the moment. So if you look at the MUNO market, world MUNO market. If you look at the world's MNO market, there's this pretty good big numbers coming along. Um, so it's roughly like there are 79,000 carriers, 79 carriers around the world. The mobile virtual network market in 2023 will be around 98 billion. That's what they are predicting. There are roughly around 1,300 MVNOs globally. So out of them, Dent could get a decent share of them. So there are 220 million total MVNO subscriptions around the world. Even if Dent manages to get just 1% of the 220 million users, which accounts for roughly 2.2 million users. So with 2.2 million users, um, and they all are going to be buying Dent using the Dent network. um, and if imagine if I am on a Verizon mobile network, where do I would prefer to go for my top up? Of course, obviously, I would prefer to go to my provider itself. So imagine the case now. For the past 1.5 years, Dent has been uh, an standalone app providing top ups for different mobile vendors. So they didn't have their own um, network, or they don't have been playing the role of an MVNO. Right now, through the eSIM launch, they are going to get into the market of 220 million users in 20 countries. So even if you manage to get 1%, just 1% of the 220 million users, we are now talking about 2.2 million new users actually using the Dent network as a mobile provider. If 2.2 million users start using Dent as the mobile provider, then their first native place for getting their top of needs will be the Dent app. So which is the good sign that there's going to be a lot of fiat revenue coming into the Dent's cash flow. Imagine if 2.2 million users, and average ARPU, which is annual revenue per user, is roughly around $10 per month. So if every user spends like $10 on the Dent app, which roughly will bring a cash flow of 220 million dollars per month. So which is pretty good. If you multiply 2.2 million, which is 1% of the 220 million MNO market, so that is going to bring 220 million revenue. And if you account it for a span of 1 year, the cash flow is going to exceed well above 2.2 million billion USD. So imagine if um, normally the tech companies are valued 10 times its gross revenue. So imagine if Dent is trying to bring a gross cash flow of 2.4 billion. Then if you multiply it by 10 times, then easily in the conventional venture capitalists eye, it's going to be valued at least 2.4 times 10 is going to be valued at least $22 billion company. That's what my opinion would be. So imagine if a company is valued that big, with 22 billion on their cash book. That is going to be a huge hit for Dent going forward. Let's have a quick look. That's why I'm viewing that it's going to hit 1 cent in the near future. I'm not saying it's going to hit tomorrow morning or in next month. We don't know yet, but from the business fundamentals point of view, it looks it's heading towards in the right direction towards getting more user adoption and bringing scarcity to the and bringing good velocity for the token as well. So let's have a quick look at this data that I've made. So if you look at, let's assume Dent is going to have like 2 billion market cap, and right now we have like 75 billion circulating supply. That would put a Dent as 2 cents very easily, at least 2.5 cents. That's what I can see. So, and if you are lucky enough to go up to 10 billion, then you can see at 10 billion, Dent will be valued at 13 cents very easily. And if as I said before, if Dent has to go around valued at 20 billion, then you're going to see Dent being sold at 25 cents, which is pretty decent returns from my point of view. We don't have to rush because your 1 million Dent token just costs around $250. I know $250 is quite a big amount when for someone who is living in a developing country, but it is worth the risk. I'm not providing any financial advice here, but I'm just saying that that's where the maths works out here. So if it has to go to 2 billion, then based on the 75 billion current supply, you will be getting seeing the coin at 2.5 cents, which is pretty good. And if you are lucky, and if it hits like 20 billion market cap, then we are going to see like 25 cents return. So that's what I want to highlight here. So there's another one as well. What if BTC hits 20,000, which is the previous all-time high? So right now it's around $8,500. Um, if it has to hit its all-time high, then and if its then stays at around, let's say, 50 cents, then you're going to see 1 cent as well. So that's my analysis for what if Dent hits 50 cents and what if BTC value is around here, around this range. So that's the kind of rough 1 cent margin you're going to see with the in correlation with BTC basically. So if you don't correlate BTC and just correlate only the market cap of Dent is, then we are headed towards this 1 to 2 billion market cap range very easily, based on the maths I said. If they manage to get 2.2 million users of their total MVNO global share of 220 million users, then obviously we are headed towards this 1 cent, long waited 1 cent return. We could easily get there. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. And once again, congrats for Dent being listed on the Pundi X POS platform. Great. Thanks everyone. Have a good day.